Right.
Beautiful. So we'll just, to activate, obviously this is the front user face, well, the front screen, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get into the internal settings, there's obviously a menu. So what I want to do now is just basically set up the timer and the run time. So set clock. It is really 13:07. Beautiful. System will now turn on and off.
Right.
Do you guys have solar power?
Yes.
So what I'll do, because we run a split system, so it's a reverse polarity cell cleaning. Oh, sorry, a cell housing. Forgive me. It comes with a self-cleaning service. So every 10 hours it reverses polarity. So, but what we normally do is we run it for an 8-hour cycle every day, basically to put chemical injection into the early morning of the pool and in the afternoon sun, so you're getting chemistry throughout the day. So what I'll do is I'll just chlorine output always stays at 100%.
Right.
You have a 3-speed pump, so you have the energy saving pump. You have the ability to turn the body of water over 1.5 times a day on the low speed. Sorry, on the high speed. If we find out that we're not getting enough chemical injection into the pool, we can just add an hour of runtime to your system, because you're saving on the low speed power option. So it's better to have it at 100% for a shorter time rather than run it at 50% for a lot longer.
Right.
So I'll leave it at 100%. The timer, this one's where it gets a little confusing. So the top 12 boxes represent the first 12 hours of the day starting at midnight, and then the bottom row are the first 12 hours starting at midday. So what I'll do here, to access, you would get sunrise at about 6 a.m. here, or would you like, I can start it for 7 if you like, if you're trying to access more of the solar.
So this is going to be all year round, hey?
That's correct, yeah.
So 6 is fine.
6 is
Winter
fine.
it's a bit early, but beyond that it's fine.
Yeah, so what I'll do, so once selected of the hour for the 6 to the 7, push the enter button. It has 3 settings though, so the C represents 1 hour of chlorination period.
Oh, I see.
If I push it again, I have the ability to run pump only, so I'm not running chlorination mode. Obviously back to the box means there's nothing indicated for that one. So what I'll do is I'll do 3 hours of chlorination and then 1 hour of pump only, because we're in the winter months, we're not going to lose as much chemistry through the pool. So that's going to be from 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. That's the morning cycle. And then what we'll do is we'll have a breather for a break, and then we'll come back on at 1, and then we'll finish at 5 p.m. in the afternoon, so you're getting chemistry injection in the afternoon as well. So once I push that, that's now going to be your hours of cycle. So it'll be 6 till 10 and then 1 till 5. So it's nice and easy. Set clock, timer output. Pump protection is a unit that we don't need to worry about on this system. Cell cleaning is what I was saying before about the reverse polarity cell housing. So if we push enter, sorry, forgive me, it's going to be every 8 hours, which is your duty cycle for the day. It's going to reverse polarity. So what we'll notice is in the cell housing, if we see white calcification deposits building up, we can reduce the hours of the reverse polarity cycle. So if we're reversing every 8 hours and then we need to shorten it to help break away the calcium, we can just drop a few hours out of it and say every 6 hours. It basically just helps clean off any calcium deposits being built inside the cell housing. So yeah, gone are the days of having to dilute acid in a bucket, put the cell housing in and burn off all the chemicals. It basically ruins the fins. Has a self-cleaning operation now, so it helps with the maintenance. So we'll leave that at 6 hours, but if you do need to adjust it, by all means drop some hours out of it. Brightness is if the back screen's pretty standard, so not necessary. System information just gives you a unit size. So obviously 0 hours, 0 cell, 0 polarity. So it's on reverse at the moment during being it's the PM afternoon. But other than that, there's nothing else really that you would need.
So that cleaning, is that 8 hours of operation or
per day?
8 hours per day.
8 hours per day. So it has 6 hours of chlorination and then 2 hours after that of just turning the body of water over.
Oh, okay.
And then in the summer months, we would adjust that to 4 hours of chlorination and 4 in the morning and then 4 hours in the afternoon of chlorination. It's just with the heat and evaporation that you use chemical.
I meant that self-clean thing every 8 hours.
Oh, every 8 hours, yes.
Is that of operation or every hour?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So it'll be after the final hour of every day.
Yeah, gotcha.
And but basically every morning it's going to go back to its original cycle.
Yeah. So we should update this in summer, you're saying, to the...
That's exactly, yes. 4 in the morning and then 4 hours in the afternoon.
4 Cs and a pump?
I'll probably just go 4 Cs and then 4 Cs, because obviously the body of water is getting turned over anyway, so you won't need to adjust
right,
it. Okay. Got a couple mode settings on here. So right now, system is on.
Yeah.
Permanently going to run. It's going to continually inject chemistry into the pool. Mm-hmm. So if we've had a heavy deluge of rain and you want to help clear it up a little bit, you can just let the system run for a couple of days till it picks back up again. After that, you would then need to monitor your chlorine, because you've been running for 72 hours straight. You might need to check that your chlorine's not high. The pool is a visual body of water itself. It'll tell its soul straight away. So if it's looking pretty green, you can give it what we call a boost setting, which I'll show you in a moment. But if you've travelled, gone away, come back and it's horrible, just let the system run for a few days. It'll pick up and you'll notice it start to change, and then away you go from there. You can adjust it. So on is if you really want the system to get back on its feet again, or if you want to service a pool, do a manual vacuum on all those sorts of things. Next mode is timer, which is its automatic timer setting. It'll start, stop, and it's basically set and forget. You don't need to adjust it or change anything from that point. The next one is a super chlorinate. Once again, I call that mini party mode. If you're hosting Christmas this year, come out here in the morning, turn the system off, or turn the system on. It's going to run for 24 hours and just produce liquid chlorine for that whole 24 hours. It'll help combat all the fats and oils and the large amount of people that you're going to have in the pool for the 24 hours. After that cycle, it will reverse back to timer, and you don't need to touch it again. So you just come down, put on super chlorinate, and then walk away.
It'll do that for 24 hours and then go back to normal?
That's correct. Exactly right. The next mode is boost. That's a 6-hour boost setting. So same scenario. If you've had quite a heavy rain and it's looking pretty tired, you can come out and do a quick 6-hour boost session. It'll get it back to looking nice and clean again. So super chlorinate's 24 hours. The boost is 6 hours. On is permanent chlorination. It's just going to stay on until you turn it off. Just be mindful of that one, but that's okay. Spa mode we don't use. Backwash. This unit can prompt you through the backwash settings, so it'll tell you to turn the system off, turn the handle. So I'll show you how to do the manual backwash, or you can use this mode itself and it'll tell you when to start, stop. And then back again to timer, which I'll put it on timer now. You've also got...
And so is timer the one we set up earlier?
Yes, that's exactly right. So that's now your your automatic operation. A few little nice things we've got going on here as well. We can push the salt button here and it'll actually tell us where our salt levels are at. So instead of having to go get a test from the pool, you can do your salt test here. It'll tell you where it's at. We've also got a chlorine test and an acid test inside the handover kit as well, which we can show you. A lot of people just using the dip strips from Bunnings. You can just dip it in, colour match it. So it's a lot easier than the drips and the drops, but it's completely up to you. We'll walk you through both settings anyway. Salt, if I push it, it'll measure your salt salinity level of your salt. Sodium salts is what we've got here. So 3,500 to 7,000 parts per million. That's where your unit needs to be for the size of your pool. So what we'll do, I'm about to put all the salt in the pool. Basically, probably this Sunday you'll be able to, once it dilutes, you'll be able to see where your salt levels are at. And that's a clear indication of from completely zero. You might have small amounts, trace amounts in there from, now forgive me, you came off tank water, so you will have none there. So it'll all just be raw water. Right. So it'll basically, I won't even try. So we'll have, we'll count the bags, and then that way from 0 to where you're at, we know it takes about 16 bags. So, but you want to sort of stay in the parameters of 3,500 to 7,000 parts per million. It's fine to go a little bit over, but you don't want to be in the 12,000 range or the 10,000 range. A little bit fine to go over, but you don't want to be too much. Otherwise, that's pretty set and forget for the use of this guy. On and off. If you want to adjust the multi-port valve over here, so which I'll just show you in a moment. That's the direction of water you want it to go, so where it's drawing from the pool or where it draws from, where it ends up. So to do that, to forgive me, anytime you want to adjust the flow of water, you want to neutralize the system. You don't want to start turning valves while the system's charged. You can start blowing O-rings and that sort of thing. So first things first is to turn the system off before we start adjusting the valve. And you might want to adjust this. I'll just sort of talk you through this as well.
What are we
focusing
on?
Basically, so just to recap, so if we ever want to clean any pump baskets, install the vacuum hose, clear the skimmer basket, system will be turned off, and what we have in front of our pump here is a shut-off valve. Because pump's obviously below water level, if we open the valve, it's just going to continually keep flowing. So the way in which the handle is highlights, it actually says closed along here is where the closed flap sits. So you unscrew the valve, close it parallel with the pipe. Now that line is closed. Obviously we want to make sure, like I said, system's off. We don't want to turn valves while the system's running, will starve the pump. So now that that's secure, we can then open up pump baskets, give them a clean. It'll just be the residual bouncing down from the return lines. Okay. So what will happen, much like I did, just so future thought, once we open up the valve, it'll basically drain the top head pressure from the pool back down. So when we go to start it again, you might hear it struggle, or it might have a small airlock because it's got to then reprime. So we're quite lucky we didn't quite lose enough there, which is great. So that then sealed and closed. Next step I would do is go clean out the skimmer basket, those sorts of things. So we'll leave the system shut down for now. You might have to just use the handheld version up here. I'll just there's a few different sections on top of here I'll sort of talk you through. So right now where the handle's facing towards the front here, it's in filter mode. So water comes from the pool, down through the multi-port, down through the sand, gets filtered, comes back up the center stem, back out through the cell housing, becomes chlorinated back to the pool. If I turn, that might just shoot a little bit your way. What I'll do, so basically I'll explain what the next step is, a backwash, which is reversing the flow of water. Once coming from the pool, instead of coming down through the sand, it'll go down through the center stem and come up through the sand and shake up all the dirty contaminants. To do that, you just depress the handle, turn the system to backwash. At this point here, I would ensure that the valve's now open, which I'll open anyway because we don't have to worry about too much. What I would then do now, I would then turn the system on with my future lay flat hose, which is to come back running down the hill. I would turn the system on for about 30 to 40 seconds. It's going to shake up all that dirty sand debris, carry it up to the top of the tank and carry it down the waistline. What we have, sorry, forgive me, right here is your sight glass. So what's going to happen, the water's going to come through nice and clean. After about 3 to 4 seconds, you'll notice it go dirty brown color. It's all the foreign contaminants. So I put my finger under the sight glass and I run for about 30 to 40 seconds, up to a minute, depending on how dirty it is, and then just run till crystal clear. Turn the system back off from the backwash setting of the back here to rinse, which is, it's a 2-part system. So now what's happened, all the dirt's come to the top of the tank. If I go from backwash straight back to filter, turn the system off, turn the system on, all the residual dirt gets blown back into the pool. So I'll repeat the process. So system off, flush the system through backwash, system off again. Now flush the system through rinse, helps sweep the residual off the top of the tank, blows that out the waistline. Once again, run till crystal clear. System off, depress the handle, back to filtration mode for all standard operations.
Okay.
We've got another one, a waste setting here, is if you just want to rapidly dump some water. You do have an overflow on the pool, which basically the pool will fill up and it'll relieve itself and trickle back down to where it needs to be for height. But if we're getting consistent heavy deluges of rain and you want to just dump some water, waste is your setting. You just turn the system off, turn the waste, and you can just pump water out the waistline. Recirculation is another one down the back here. Basically only by design, as so if you wanted to add a flocculant or a clarifier to your pool, they have quite a sticky consistency, so we don't want to run that through the sand filter. We would turn the valve to recirculate, pour the product in the pool, run the system bypassing the sand, and then we could just vacuum that gunk and crap out to waste.
Right.
So basically, it never needs to be there. It's only if you've been instructed by the pool shop or if your pool's looking really tight and you want to give it a great sparkle, you don't want to put that sticky chemical through the sand. So you'd never really use it. So filtration for all purposes, backwash, rinse go hand in hand for cleaning out the sand tank, waste to dump water, and recirculate if you want to just tidy up the water and bypass the sand filter. Otherwise, it's pretty set and forget.
Closed is closed.
Closed is closed. That's exactly right. So I'll just I'll turn the system back on, and I'll give ourselves a datum pressure. So when we're talking about doing the backwash, I'll give ourselves turn the system on, and we'll go from there, just so I walk it through. So what we're going to do, the system always starts on its fast mode, and at the fast mode is where you get the most accurate sand pressure inside the tank. So that's open, that's sealed. There we go. So right now, 50 kPa on the inner scale. That's what I would call datum sand. The system's only a week old. That's clean sand. Once it gets up to the 100, 150, obviously not as high as the 200, that's when I'd recommend doing a backwash to help clear out.
Okay, right.
So once again, during your weekly or fortnightly visits down here to have a quick look, turn the system off, let it settle, turn the system back on, and then give yourself a nice reading as the most accurate high pressure. Yeah, once it gets above the 100, 150, it's kind of due for a backwash. It might take 3 to 4 months to get there. You don't really have much. It's not high density pollution here. You don't have any road dust coming. Not much at all. So good to remember to backwash, because you have quite a leafy area out here. All the leaves that get brought in and the finer leaf matter that gets caught inside the sand filter, as it returns back to your pool, around all the return eyeballs, you might find a bit of discoloration. That's organic matter breaking down inside the sand tank and then coming through the return lines and then dispersing through it. So if you start to see slight staining around the return eyeballs, it's just broken down leaf matter that hasn't been backwashed away. So something to sort of look out for. Everything's curable. You can put a granular chlorine over the area and get the stain off. It's something you might notice further down the track if you haven't been backwashing. Other than that, everything's pretty simple.
Alrighty.
I'll walk through how to set up the manual vac for now, and I'll do one while I'm here. So what I'll do, system's open, producing, that's them. I'll turn the system off so I can install all the vacuum heads and the vac hoses. Once again, system off, install the cleaning system, and then you got to come back out and turn the system.
So there's one question before we leave. So you mentioned earlier, the video wasn't on it. Yes. If this area here starts to get, was it white?
Yeah, white calcification deposits.
White calcification. What's our step there?
Yeah, so we can reduce the cleaning hours inside the program.
Right, yeah. So they're CCCP.
That's
reduce
correct.
that.
Oh no,
Yeah.
so you forgive me, your cell cleaning hour. So if you, I think it's setting 4 on the main menu. So you open up the menu and it actually say cell cleaning,
Oh, okay.
and then you push the enter button and it'll say 8 hours at the current time.
Yeah, right.
And then that.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
The
so
cell cleaning.
It's only calcium is the byproduct of chlorine production. So over time, it'll start to build up. So
So if it goes white there, we reduce the cell cleaning to
That's
6
correct.
hours or
that's
something,
exactly right. Yeah. So
which is more often.
That's correct, exactly right. So you will see little bits building up, and that is normal. It's if it's completely caked, then
Right.
that's when.
So is this a filter or is it like a plastic?
No, that's all plastic. So they're like a metallic filament, and then through electrolysis, as the
Yeah,
water runs
right.
through, it
Gotcha.
just converts the salt into liquid chlorine. So basically, a little chlorine factory in production. So
Cool.
So one thing to look for, like as I was saying with the salt button on the unit, if you're noticing the pool's looking really tired and looking really green, the salt level's going to be quite low. You can come down and check your salt, because if the salt's low, you're not going to produce any chlorine. So that's one of the eliminating factors as to why
Right.
the pool's looking green. You don't have salt in the pool.
Okay, cool. And this is a little viewfinder, just for my own reference. When we're doing the backwash, we wait for it to get crystal clear before we turn it off, and then go to rinse and do the same thing. Excellent. All right, I think I've got it.
Beautiful. I'll quickly show you how to set up the clean. About a minute or two to clear.
So we're just going to go through how to change the speed on the pump as required, but we'll leave it at the low speed as a default. And just a 3-speed, just to remind myself. Now, low speed, you said it'll turn the pool over 1.5 times a day.
Okay, that's correct. So it's a very good indication. We'll leave it on the low speed. If you're finding the clarity of the water isn't quite compensating because we have a lot of high organic matter, you can speed the pump up to its middle speed, and then that way it will help filter more. You've got more turnover, but generally the 1 speed is enough to turn the body of water over 1.5 times a day.
So what do you reckon, roughly the 2 and 3 speed, like how many times a day with the middle and high?
Yeah, well, I reckon you might average between say 1.5 to maybe just over 2 on the middle speed. 3 is as noisy as it is now.
Right.
So if you're sitting up here entertaining, whereas on that low speed,
Yeah, you can't hear it.
can't hear it. So
Oh, okay, so it's down here, the control.
that's correct. Just on the back of the unit here. So I just. So once again, it's just on its automatic dial-up timer. I might be able to. I can't shut it down just yet.
Cool.
What will happen? It'll slow itself down. So our version 3 is the highest speed in which it is now.
Yep.
The version 2 is middle speed, and the version 1
Gotcha.
it's about 3,000 for the high speed, 22 for the middle speed, and about 1,200 or so for the low speed. So. I won't force the hand. So what will happen, once it dies down, it'll revert to its low speed, and once we do that, I can then delegate what speed I would like it to be on. So I go.
Yeah, so that's slow.
So forgive me. So that's 1450 for the low speed.
Yeah.
Medium speed is 2400.
Right. Easy as
So
that.
if you can custom adjust it too. So if you want midway, I can then with the arrows I can turn
I
it.
figured that with
I
the
can turn
arrows,
it down. There we go. So still at this point, it's going to revert from the high speed to the middle to the lowest speed. If I want to then forever moving forward adjusting it to its middle speed, I would push version 2 and then hold the up and down buttons together.
Okay.
The light will flash, and then you'll know that it's been allocated.
Yeah.
So then from this point on, it's going to revert to its second speed, but I'll turn it back.
And do that again.
Just for now, yeah. I'll leave it on the low speed. Just for now, it's just something to monitor. Yes, forgive me. Yes, it has a 3-speed function.
Cool.
And
Well, there you go. I was listening.
there we go. So once it flashes, you now know that it's been allocated that speed.
So there's off on, and then what's the final button there?
A run stop. So we don't.
Okay.
These two here we don't really want to touch.
Right.
That's if it has. We can. For an extra 15,000, you can have a smart pool where you can run a cable and you can talk to it. So we don't really need to ever push those buttons. This cable plugs into the Brains package over there.
Yep.
And that does all the talking. So
Cool.
yeah, it's just a 1, 2, 3, and the up and down.
Alrighty, so to vacuum we need
Yeah. So
vacuum plates,
vacuum plate,
hose, and the head.
vacuum head, hose, and then handle.
Yep.
I'll just sort of show you down here. So to install this correctly, three locating lugs, slides down, locks in. To remove it, you release the tab.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And then remove it. So that goes in, slides into place, and then to release it, I would push this tab and then slide it back to myself.
Right.
So
Yeah. Very good.
that goes in. This is the fun part. You'll have to take the leaf rake off. Actually, I might do that one on. So you have to prime the hose. If we were to, and it's quite tricky, so it'd be quite humorous to get done. So generally you won't really be using this much. I'll just walk you through it because you have the robotic cleaner that will do all the work for you. Once I pick that up, so two heads of the hose. The swivel head is one with the multi-movement, so the one that slides around is the one we want to put on the vacuum head.
Right.
That just squishes on. That clips in. Now the fun part is to prime the line. So you want to push the vacuum head down, and whilst it's going down, you want to just feed the hose down into the water, and that'll push all the air out of the line. Beautiful, and then from now we can keep that underwater, keep it primed. Down there, and that just lifts straight over the coping inside the center of the vacuum plate, just sits in. And then what we have just in here is what we call a flow device. So we have water getting sucked through the bottom of the vacuum head, comes through to here. This also opens up to allow the pump to get extra water, so we're not just relying on the vacuum hose. So we're sharing the load. If the suction's not great enough, you can just tighten up the vacuum head, and it means less bypass water, more suction. If you have so much suction you can't push the head, you just release the valve.
Right.
Yeah. So I'll just tighten it up a little bit. Now, the next step is I'll quickly shoot back downstairs and I'll turn the system on and then give it a quick vacuum.
And so you don't change any of the other settings, you just go on.
That's correct, yeah.
Same thing,
I'll go on, and then the flow is always through filtration.
Yeah, all right.
Beautiful. Bear with me and I'll...
So here's the device you can turn backwards and forwards to increase or decrease the flow.
It's running. I think you just had a parcel turn up.
Oh, nice. Early Christmas.
Beautiful. And then, just like a house vacuum, just nice slow strokes. You don't want to push too hard. You'll push the debris away.
Right. Yeah.
So you just go nice and slow, keeping the head, the vacuum head, nice firmly to the ground. Just work your way nice and slow. Only as safely as you like. You can extend the pole all the way out. I'll get the big stuff, then I'll just scoop the twigs. How'd you go with the lights too?
Yeah, that worked out well.
The
Yeah.
lights are, it basically just shines, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Danielle likes the red. I'm like, I like bloody Jaws came to visit. Why do you like the red? She always likes red. She's like dresses with red and stuff. But I was like, are you kidding?
A lot of the customers, that's their Halloween mode. They'll
Oh,
throw those
yeah.
floating crocodile heads and put it on red. And if everyone's brave enough to swim in late October, which is probably a lot better than now anyway. But yeah, so that's the process of giving it a vacuum.
Nice.
Once again, let it settle. I'll go down and turn the system back off, and then do everything again in reverse. So I'll just go turn that off. Jump on in.
Yeah.
It's a shock though. I can't move my extremities. Like, just once I've
Yeah.
had to go a few times this week.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Crazy.
I just did the full body slam. Yeah. And I,
Made your way back straight out
my
again.
body was just like, what? Did not enjoy it.
That comes off. So now I'll disassemble from the skimmer end, and that way I can I can relieve all the. That just lifts out.
Yep.
Once again, that'll break the airlock. All the extra water will fall back to the pool. I'll just release that tab, give it a pull towards me, and then just that then comes out. System pool always operates without that.
Yep.
If we forget to leave that in there, the system's only running on 32 mil.
Yeah, right.
Whereas the suction pipes are 50. So, and then what will happen? It'll create a venturi, and you'll start to draw air through the system. You'll hear it anyway. Yeah. So you'll know. So.
Yeah, see all the leaves in there.
Yes, absolutely. And you've got this copper core handle here. Just twist it, and that's how you relieve it. And you grab all the rest of the yum stuff in there. Beautiful. And this is the fun part. So the trick is you just put one foot on it, and like a garden hose, just twist it as you go. Letting all the water run back to the pool. Beautiful.
Easy as that, eh?
Yeah, it's you give it a wrestle, you'll and the slower you pour it, the more of the dissolving is done for you.
Yep.
If you pour it in nice and heavy, you'll have more to brew.
Easy as that, eh?
That one's going to be good. That'll be a fun one.
Well, given they're 20 kilos, I'm guessing this is my job.
The pool shop.
Yeah.
It's best off just going to the pool shop and getting a fast dissolving, better quality.
All right, so I just talked to myself. We should get the fast dissolving pool salt from a decent pool shop. Don't get the cheaper stuff from Bunnings because it has iron in it, which will make the colour of the pool go crap. This is the version they have, so make sure it says fast dissolving premium pool salt.